Good morning.
Look at Junior. Hello, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in.
Welcome to our show today. We are here with you with our coffee.
Seriously, it's a coffee morning. It's only 9 a.m. here, and we've been up for a couple of hours, but it does take me a lot longer than Katie to actually wake up in the morning. Usually a couple cups of coffee. I don't know about you guys. I need a couple of cups of coffee. I need my shower. I need don't talk to me for a little bit.
I get up and I go and make coffee, feed the dogs, give them their probiotics in the morning because they're old lady dogs
like us.
And then I come up and then I usually like to do a good morning, and like just really get in. I mean, I give you like the 10 minutes it takes me to do everything downstairs to prepare for that moment. So I don't see what your problem is.
She also sweeps the rooms for weapons before that happens.
That's true. Well,
I don't stab her.
You have weak morning arms, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't know if we've talked about this, but something happens while Victoria's sleeping in the middle of the night that weakens her arm strength.
It's called old ladiness. Listen,
and so
I can't make a fist early in the morning
or anything. So it's like I know that she's at peak irritability level, but also she's at the lowest point of her weakness. So it's kind of like it's the perfect time to really harass her and not have to worry about her either catching me or even if she can catch me, really doing any real damage. So
listen, it's probably a precursor to some really bad arthritis is all I'm going to say. I can't make a fist in the morning. Listen, I'm old. I'm telling you, you hit 45 and everything goes to shit. Seriously, just wait.
Yeah.
3 more years. 3 more years, you're going to know what it feels like.
Indeed. You just think it's going to I'm not going to be on the same timetable as you.
You don't know.
I might be one of those spry 70-year-olds who's like walking around like, I got to get up in the morning to get my coffee. And you're just going to be like yelling at kids to get off your lawn.
I already do.
Not that I really want the kids on their lawn either. So
get off my rocks.
Oh, Sandra's telling you wait until 46.
Oh, great. So that's the downslide. So I've peaked is what you're saying. And then in another 3 months, I'm just going to die. Just not going to wake up anymore.
No, I think you peaked a while ago, and then 46 is just with the acceleration point.
Gotcha.
of the downward trajectory.
Yeah. I'll be 46 in 3 months, so I apparently should schedule my cremation for the day after my 46th birthday. Lord.
Anyway, guys, it's Wednesday. So this is Boss Up and List Day. So for anyone who doesn't know,
we have not had a good Boss Up and List Day in a while. We had one since we started to bring it back.
We've had two.
We've had two.
Pardon me.
Oh, sorry.
Here's the thing. We used to do it every single Wednesday. Boss Up and List Day is every Wednesday. It is not the show.
That's true.
It is the day in our Boss Facebook group. Most people are listing every day, but Wednesday is just kind of like the day to really buckle down and be like, I'm going to set some goals for today. I'm going to check into the group. I'm going to hold myself accountable and get them to help me be held accountable. And so it's just kind of a thing that we started a couple of years ago. And then we used to do the Wednesday show every Wednesday as kind of like a little break. And then we stopped doing that. And then recently we brought it back, but we're alternating with No Pants Friday After Dark. So it doesn't happen every single week. And if we have stuff going on one week, we kind of skip it. Because guess what? We got shit to do. So,
because guess what? YouTube don't pay the bills.
So anyway, at least not
for us anyway,
because it's not our main focus. But we did bring it back because we do like having this time to kind of hang out and talk to you guys, and especially cover the more businessy stuff. It's a bit much to try to do it every week.
There's not enough changes in the reseller community for us to do a businessy show every Wednesday. I felt like sometimes we had a hard time coming up with content every week. I'm super happy to get back to do it every other week, and it doesn't feel as much pressure, if that makes sense.
I don't know that there isn't enough content. It's just that if we wanted to do it every single week, it takes a lot of prep because there's a lot of stuff that has to go into coming up with the topics of conversation, bringing in all the elements. But today we actually have two things that we're going to be going over.
We have two things to talk about. So Barbara's talking about she's going to be 55 this year. And, Sandra says you get all the discounts. Barbara, you just need to move to the West Coast.
Yes, seriously.
Because as far as Vegas and parts of California go, 50 is senior citizen discount shit. Like I'm telling you, 4 more years and she's got the gravy train going because all the discounts.
You guys know why I'm sticking around.
50 makes you a senior citizen and you get all of the senior discounts at 50 in Las Vegas. And I am going to take full advantage of that, if we ever have Las Vegas open again, which I do think will happen.
Yeah, that's going to happen sooner than later. I mean, if anything, when you're a reseller and you have to shop for a living, having that senior discount is pretty sweet. There you go.
Exactly.
Now, my sister back home, she doesn't resell or anything like that, but she is a thrifter. And she's because she lives near my parents, she's real smart, and she will go and pick up my mom and take her to the thrift stores on the senior days. Mm-hmm. So she basically just
brings a senior with her.
She uses my mom, but my mom likes to thrift too, so it works out. It's a win-win situation.
Exactly.
Anyway, so we're gonna go. We're gonna look at the spring seller update for eBay. There are a lot of other YouTube channels that have already, a lot of people who actually jump on this and get on top of it the second a new update comes out. And we used to be a little like that. But you know what? We're a little loosey-goosey these days. And because we're only doing our show every other week, we're like, meh. But the reality is we're all business owners. It's a professional title to give yourselves. So you should be able to, when this stuff comes out, you get it in a message, you get it in an email. Mm-hmm. You probably should be reading that yourself.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Saying. And there's a lot of resources out there. And if you're in the Boss Facebook group, you've seen the discussions around it. You may have seen other YouTube shows about it. And so
we're just going to touch on some of the highlights that we think are the most important aspects that obviously you should read the whole thing, but we're not going to do that and bore the crap out of you. What we're going to do is highlight some of the aspects that we think pertain to us as business owners specifically, and that I think are going to affect you the most, and that you may need to make changes in your business according to some of these changes. So the other thing I wanted to say is, real quickly, if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe to the reseller podcast that Liz and Doug do, sponsored by List Perfectly, because T-Money is the guest of the week this week. And
what?
It just came out, so I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I will be today while I'm outsourcing. I'm actually going to bring headphones specifically so that I can listen to this podcast because I'm not a podcast person. Katie is, so she'll know that's a big deal for me. But I haven't missed an episode yet. This is episode 4 of the Reseller podcast, and I think it's fantastic.
Sponsored by List Perfectly.
Sponsored by List Perfectly, but the Reseller Community Podcast is what it's called. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm sorry I wasn't saying the words correctly. Anyway, T-Money's on this week, and she's talking about seller school and all things T-Money. So I'm interested in as much as and as well as I feel like I know our friend Teresa. I always learn something new in these podcasts, so I think it's super interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
So Liz, if you want to drop a link to the podcast in the chat, please do. We don't have one at the ready.
I don't think. How is Liz not a moderator of this?
I don't know.
I think that you have to.
I think she had to be in Colorado. I think she has 2 sign-ins.
Oh, maybe.
I think she has Liz, and then she also has Colorado Rewarn. I think she might be.
Teresa just put it in there. Anyway, so as far as the seller update goes, we're basically just Vicky's gonna take the lead on this, and we're basically just gonna hit the highlights, the stuff that matters to us anyway. The stuff that we're excited about. And then, it's possible I'll give you a little bit of a hint. I might bitch a little bit about some of it, but that's just the way it is. It's the way it's supposed to be. But I will say overall, I think it's one of the best updates in a long time where I'm actually excited about at least one thing. And and I do have some hope for future changes. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Good morning, Rita. Scully Star Fashions. Happy birthday, by the way. It was her birthday yesterday. It's also her son's birthday. Her son was born on her birthday. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. What a prize. What a present.
See, I pay attention to our friends. Katie's like, it was?
I don't know. I don't even know if any of you guys have kids. Just kidding.
Attention.
Not really. So we're going to go over the seller update. And then after that, guys, I'm going to be showing you guys just a little walkthrough preview demonstration of PhotoRoom. Again, there are some other YouTube videos out there that go much more in depth. People who probably are much more well versed on how it works. I've only been using it for the last week and a half. So I'm sure I'm only using a tiny bit of its capability, but PhotoRoom, the photo app, as you guys know from watching our shows, I'm the perfectionist. I'm the one that wants my photos to look perfect. And I've used a few different apps over the last couple of years to get my photos to look exactly the way I want it. Vicky, on the other hand,
I'm like, nah, throw it up there and
she
hope the
wants
shit
good.
sells.
She wants good photos, but she's not as worth. She never felt like it was worth the time, the extra time it takes to try and edit photos or anything like that. And it's all a personal preference. But now, finally, guys, there is a photo app that we both agree is worth getting and paying for, and we're going to show you how to do it. In no way are we don't.
I was just going to say we have
no
zero
referral.
compensation for this. We are both paying for.
I briefly looked to see if there was any kind of referral program, and I didn't see one. So because I'm like, we're already going to be like promoting this app. If we can get paid for it, that'd be great too. But we're not getting paid for it.
No,
so
and by the way, you can't. We each have a paid subscription, so it's not like we're using one or So we've each paid for a subscription for each of our phones. So
hands down, the best paid service that I've signed up for in a very long time to help my business.
Well, except List Perfectly.
I said in a very long time. I've had List Perfectly for a year. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're going to be showing that. And like I said, I'm just going to be kind of covering the highlight. It's basically going to be like an introduction, like, hey, look at this. Look what we can do. Maybe you should check it out.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to just jump right into this?
Sure.
I have a million different like screens I'm kind of juggling because I'm going to be sharing, there's us that I'm going to be sharing.
We have 3 screens happening right now. So
right. But the reason I'm saying this, and I actually had to, because I was trying to figure out like how to, I'm a relatively techie person, but how to like actually cast my phone in this streaming service that we use for our shows. And then I realized I couldn't do it. I had to have another computer to be able to make it work and still be able to have control of my computer. So basically some weird
Nobody
screens.
cares.
So shut your mouth. Some weird screens might pop up. Bear with me if it doesn't go super smoothly, but we should be able to show you everything and share this and make it work. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to share our screen here so that Victoria can talk about the seller update. Let's go ahead and look at this. Or I'll give you that.
All right. So there's a whole lot of stuff in the seller update. And like Katie said, I fully agree that this is probably the best seller update for sellers to happen in a long time. We used to dread the seller update. And I think, spring seller update and fall seller update, you're always like, what's going to happen now? And you kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop. This is one where I was like, the whole time they were going over it in our conference call, I was like waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good too. Wait, where's the bad thing? And there really isn't anything bad that I noticed. So I'm just going to do a couple of highlights here. So when you go to, we have the link down below, by the way, in case you have not reviewed it yourself, you should. So listing and promoting, most of this is about, okay, yep, no, more seller item specifics happening. Great. But it is what it is. That's not going to change. Update them so that your stuff can be found and so that you can relist your items.
There's a new coupon thing, but I think we're going to hear more about that in the future.
Yeah, the coupon thing is listing and promoting. I'm just going to talk about it real briefly. As far as, category changes, new item specifics, we all know that stuff happens several times a year. They're constantly tweaking things to help buyers find our items better in search based on search, algorithms that have already in place. So item specific changes, they're going to tell you new categories that are having more item specific changes because we haven't changed them 10 times in the last 3 years, but whatever. So this is the part where I'm like, Jesus, stop. But anyway, nothing we can do about it. Just pay attention. When they come out, you're going to obviously see it in your seller hub. OptiSeller Aspect Finder. OptiSeller has been around for a while now. I personally have not found it to be helpful. So, go ahead and play around with it yourself. It's a free tool for now, at least until June, which means they're trying to get people to like it and use it, and then they'll probably start charging for it. But in the meantime, if you can use it to help find any item specifics that are missing, great. Let's see. You are able to edit item specifics in bulk. That is actually a very useful thing. It's a very useful tool. If you are someone that has huge categories of the same thing and you need to edit, category on one specific thing that's changing and that, you know, for what you sell.
Well, then there's the download upload thing, which we have no idea how to do that.
Teresa loves
been
it.
all over it, where you download like an Excel file and you can do it really super fast.
If you're an Excel person, Teresa loves it, and go ahead and ask in the Facebook Boss Facebook group if you have questions on how to do that, because I am not your girl. I hate Excel and I will never use it or learn it, and I don't care how old I am. Let's see. The one thing that you want to know about the task reminder is in Seller Hub and in My eBay. Those have been around for quite a while, and they're super helpful. Like, this is going to tell you if you're missing required items, if things are being required soon, recommended item specifics. There are tasks in the hub that'll tell you which things that you need to take care of. So that makes things easy. And I'm going to stop talking about that for now. The next thing that I'll talk about is there is a new listing tool.
No.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I have not tried it yet. I know that they are asking people to try it out. And this right here, this little part that's not highlighted, send us your feedback. If you try it out and you feel that the listing flow is not working for you and there are reasons why it's not working, send feedback, because they are still making changes to the listing flow. And they need to hear about this from sellers. The people that create these things are not sellers for the most part. So they need to know what what you need to change or what is affecting your ability to list easily.
Yeah, hold on a second here. Just real quick, guys. When it comes to giving feedback to any company, but like eBay, clicking on that send us your feedback and then yelling at them and saying give us back the old listing tool, you have to understand it's not going to happen. So the best thing that you can do is help them to improve it. So send us your feedback, send them your feedback. But make sure you say, here is what I don't like. Here's why. Here's how it could be better.
Yes,
That's the only way you're going to be able to give them your input, because just yelling at them and
just
saying,
using the button
go back to
bitch.
the old way, because people like to do that. They like to say, just go back to the old way. If it wasn't broken, don't fix it. And you can feel that way. But if you really want to help them to make good changes, make sure that you're giving them constructive feedback.
Yeah, it's kind of like the people that are still complaining about managed payments on every single post that eBay does everywhere. Get over it. They're not changing it. You need to adapt.
And if there's issues,
and it's okay for you to hate it. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay for you to hate it. You can choose to not sell on the platform, or you can adapt. I mean, complaining about it gets us nowhere.
Or give them things that maybe they could do to improve it that don't include just going back to the old way. Anyway, that's just my little speech. Go ahead.
Okay. You done interrupting me now?
Oh, how dare you?
So definitely, I don't have this try the new listing tool available yet. So everybody should have it soon. So I have not tried it yet, so I really can't speak on it, but I definitely suggest trying it. And then you can also go back to your old listing tool for a while, at least if you try it and you don't like it. But I definitely try it, because it's eventually going to be the way we're going. So it's interesting to figure out what's happening with it.
We have seen like demonstrations of it, and I wasn't a huge fan, so I'm hoping some of what I didn't like will change. But
okay, so next, background removal on desktop. Some of you have seen that if you list within the eBay app, you've had the background removal tool. I will say it's clunky. I don't like listing on the app to begin with. I've been waiting for them to roll this out as far as on the desktop. I have found that what we're going to talk about next, as far as PhotoRoom, is far superior to this.
Yep.
It's very glitchy and it has a lot of issues. But if you're not looking to pay for a paid service, then at least know that it's going to be available on desktop soon.
Yep.
Let's see. Promoted listing stuff, blah, 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 blah. Coded coupons is one of the things we wanted to talk about briefly. This is something that they're still tweaking. So eBay has long had the ability for you to send coupons and create coded coupons to send out to your customers. You can print them out and send them on your packing slips. You can send your QR codes now on your packing slips. You can create custom, postcards is what I used to do. I mean, 15 years ago, we were sending these out, and then the customer can come back to your store and use the coupon that is specific to your store that you've created, and, get 10% off or 15% off or whatever you've created as a code. Like you want to create something specific to your store. And then what they're also going to have is a way for us to, see how that's working for us. So I think that's something really cool that can be used. I think coded coupons are something that every retailer uses. If you're on a million mailing lists like I am, you get them all the time. Hey, go and save 15% off at Kohl's this week using this code. Go save 30% off on Society 6 in this category. So it's just something that every other platform is using as a retail experience. And it's good that, they're reintroducing it in an upgraded fashion for us to use on eBay. Let's see. I'm just going to skip over some of this stuff because it's just too much. Yeah.
Go back.
What do I need to do?
Click the back arrow.
Okay. All right. So this is the one that I think is one of the best things that we're going to talk about, the fees and financial section. People are very quick to note when fees go up, but this is something that I feel like eBay is not getting enough recognition right now, that fees are going down. Most people are going to have a lot of savings from this right here. So what I wanted to talk about, they're reinvesting in their platform to create the premier global experience.
Ooh.
So basically what that means is what they've done is they've increased the free listing fee allotments when you're on eBay's managed payments. And in 2021, there's going to be everyone should be on managed payments by the end of this year is one of the things that they're talking about. So zero insertion fee allotment increase is one that's really important. We're going to talk about specifically if you are a seller that has a store. So here's what you're going to get. One of the things that was that a lot of people are on is the premium store package. A premium store package is $59.95 a month, and what you had with the premium store package was 1,000 free listings, and then you paid 10 cents a listing for every listing over 1,000. That break-even point from 1,000 listings to needing to upgrade to an anchor store was around 3,400 listings a month, 3,400 to 3,600 listings. So what happened is that most premium store sellers like myself or like Katie that have somewhere around 2,000 or 3,000 listings, you were paying almost the same price as an anchor store would pay when you had the premium store. So you'd go and pay over $200 a month in added listing fees. And the anchor store is $299 a month, but it didn't make sense to upgrade to anchor quite right away.
It was such a strange jump to go from 1,000 to 10,000 listings, and from like whatever the original price of premium was, which was like what, $70, $65.
I just said 59.
Sorry, 59, $60 up to what's the anchor store?
$299.
Right, and so I think this is the
Maybe
thing.
Listen to me.
Shut your mouth. I was looking at it. So this is something that I know one of my big things I've bitched about for a long time, and a lot of
I feel like a
well.
lot of middle range sellers like ourselves have been complaining about this and asking for this for years.
And that's
years.
Lot of sellers. I feel like there's a lot of sellers who hit 1,000 listings and then immediately start having to pay extra.
Yeah. So what's super exciting about this is that I have an anchor store right now. I know Teresa has an anchor store. Katie has an anchor store. We're paying $299 a month to have around that 3,000 to 4,000 listing price point, and we don't need to. So now you are able to downgrade your store. If you're in basic, you don't need to upgrade to premium. Some people need to downgrade from premium to basic. Anchor, downgrade to premium if you need to. Instead of paying for that extra amount, now what's going to happen is I'm going to go from $299 a month in my anchor store to $59 a month in premium, and I'm saving $240 a month to downgrade. Now, what you do lose is you lose some of the higher priced shipping supply coupon. So my shipping supply coupon is going to go from $150 a quarter to $50 a quarter, but I don't spend $240 a month on shipping supplies out of pocket. So $240 a month is a pretty significant savings in my opinion. I'm super excited about that. Now, here's the other thing too, is you used to be able to downgrade at any time, but a lot of times you would have to pay a early termination fee. As Precious Bunny just said, there is no penalty to downgrade your store from now until they haven't said when the cutoff date is, but they are waiving any penalties or early termination fees. You can do it. The date starts at April 1st. So you can downgrade at any time and there is not going to be any penalty.
Awesome.
So I'm super excited about that. I don't know about anyone else, but this is a really big deal. This basic premium anchor, this type of stuff right here. Huge difference for people that are middle of the range or lower end sellers. Anchor stores, okay, if you've got over 10,000 listings, you're not a lower range seller. If you have an enterprise store, you're not watching the show. So this is going to affect the majority of people that watch our show or are in our group. And I'm super excited about this. Now, that's not something that eBay has talked about quite enough. So we need to like talk up the good things when there are good things. And this is one of those really good things. $240 a month is a lot of money.
I would say this and one other thing are my two biggest issues with things I've wanted eBay to do. And now they've done one of them. And we'll talk about another one when we get to a different part of this.
So that's the biggest thing I wanted to talk about that. Yes, there is a final value increase in a couple of different categories. It's an increase of 0.2% in certain categories. I have to say they have not increased their fees in years. So if you can't absorb a 0.2% increase, I don't know what's wrong with your business, but you need to make some business changes. It's actually fairly low compared to a lot of other platforms and their increases that have happened. It's certainly far lower than the annual increase that happens with the USPS for worse service. So I think we're getting better things. On the platform for that little increase. They're giving us quite a lot, while they might be taking away a little bit. It's like the good thing about eBay is that generally when they give you, in the old days, it used to be they would slap you, and then kiss your cheek, like with all the seller updates. So this seller update is like, there's lots of kisses and you get
maybe a couple little slaps
and a couple little
maybe
pokes,
a couple of pinches,
a little couple of mean pinches, but they're not too bad. So I'm super excited about that. Let's see. We all know about managed payments at this point.
I think the next big thing probably is how they're taking selling fees and everything from our earnings.
Yeah. So where is that?
It's right there.
Thank you.
So that's going to be great, I think.
So if any of you sell on other platforms, especially Etsy, because I think this most correctly correlates with Etsy's platforms, we've been talking about right now, if you're in managed payments, right now you're still having to pay your store fees, your promoted listing fees, and any shipping fees, like FedEx shipping fees, in one lump sum. You're getting your monthly fee. Right now, they're going to be changing the invoice process, and they are going to take it out of you. They're going to be doing more fee netting, is what it's called. So basically, they're going to take it out of your balance. We do not have a breakdown of exactly what day of the month that's going to be after your invoice. Some people
like your store fee,
like your store fee. We don't have an exact breakdown of that. They haven't clarified that. But right now, some people are their subscription goes the 1st to the 1st, and some people goes the 15th to the 15th. I'm a 15th to the 15th person. That's where mine is, and everybody's a little different. So they're going to be taking it out of your pending funds.
I actually think this is really helpful for newer and smaller sellers, because I know a lot of times, you hear about people who just get started on eBay or are, really small and in a financially tighter situation, and they can be really surprised and unprepared when suddenly they owe
$100 or $50
for some people. That's tough to sell that to pay all at once, like $500 or whatever. And so I think it's helpful to have it taken out,
especially for people that come from one of the other platforms that don't have fees in that way. You automatically are getting fee netting when Macari takes your fees out, or Etsy takes your fees out, or Poshmark takes your fees out. That comes out of your money, and as opposed to people that are not used to paying that. So they have gone back to having more working capital loans available. It's not the same as the PayPal working capital. I do believe that this is going to be quite different. I haven't looked into this entirely because it's not something that I've needed. But I do know that they're powered by Lending Point, which does have a better spectrum of offers available for working capital loans and business loans that are available. The difference being is that these are going to be qualified based on credit. They're credit and income driven, as opposed to PayPal was driven based entirely on your sales that came through PayPal. So
still not quite as good.
It's not quite as good, because if you have credit issues, you may not qualify. Where on PayPal, it didn't matter what your credit was. It mattered what your income was through them. So there's that. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about here?
Go back all the way out.
Go back
one more time. Okay.
One more.
There you go.
All right. That's personally my favorite things to talk about the update. What did you?
I want to talk about
feel?
click on the running your business. So
this is another good one.
This is one where I'm like, yeah, it's
halfway there.
Okay,
it's halfway there.
It's okay. Listen, I'm gonna go. Let me hold on a second.
I'll let you talk about that one.
Okay, so my whole thing is like, I've been selling on eBay for like 5.5 years now. And I'm just tired of not having immediate payment. And I get that, like, I can make it so everything is immediate pay. I can not do auctions, which I don't do. I can not do offers, which I do. But the reality is, a lot of my sales come from best offers. A lot of my sales come from offers to buyers. And when you do anything like that, you cannot have immediate pay set up. And so that for me, I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of over it. Like, I'm sick of somebody making an offer for something that's like, let's say $200, and then they don't pay. And then I have to send out, I send out an invoice, and then I have to open an unpaid case, and I got to wait another 4 days to be able to close that. I'm just kind of sick of it, especially when I see other seller programs, other seller platforms that are totally able to do it. Mercari does it. And especially noteworthy is that Grailed, which uses PayPal as a payment processor, is able to do binding offers. And when you accept them, it immediately goes through PayPal. They hold your funds until you update a tracking number. So I've never really understood why eBay couldn't do it. And I'm hopeful that they're going to do it eventually, but they have made changes, slight changes.
Mm-hmm. You no longer have to have your item tied up for, I don't know, 10 to 12 days when someone doesn't pay for
Minimum
it.
was 6 before. Now it's going to 5. So is it something? I guess. Right now it's like you have to wait 2 days. You have to wait 48 hours. You can open an unpaid case, and then you got to wait another 4 days before you can close it. Now it's going to
they're not closing on their own anymore. By the way, that has it's been a cluster for the past few months.
Now it's going to be like, I think it's automatic where it's like once they accept an offer or whatever, they have 5 days to pay, and you can't open an unpaid case anymore, which some people feel like when you open that unpaid case, it pushes people to finally pay. Well, now that's not going to happen anymore, but eBay will be the one that's like kind of repeatedly bugging them, pay for your shit. And then after 5 days, is it automatic that it closes and relists it, I think.
I don't know. You
want to share?
You're the one talking about this one, so you should know what I'm talking about.
Well, I haven't paid that much attention to it because it's annoying. So you can cancel it, basically. So if they haven't paid in 5 calendar days, you can cancel the transaction.
You'll be able to set up automatic cancellations.
And you can choose to have it done automatically, but basically you have to wait 5. So before, the minimum amount of time you had to take was 6. Now it's 5. Whoopie-doo. So I don't know. I'm not that excited about it.
I think it's a lot easier because, to be honest with you, if as someone that has been using the automated unpaid item assistant since it began, it has been very problematic in the last 6 months or so. It does not open when it should, and it doesn't close when it should anymore. And I'm not sure what changed, but it probably has to do with the fact that they've been changing all this stuff on the back end. So I'm here for it. I'm happy for that.
So, I mean, and for me, my 2 biggest things were the whole store level thing. That's like probably my biggest ask. I mean, there's other things about the way any platform works where you're like, oh, I wish they wouldn't do this, blah, blah, blah. But the big things for me were the store levels and automatic pay. So they took care of one of those this time. So that's awesome. And it's actually a huge one. It's going to save me a lot of money. And so I'm really, really happy about it. And then the other one is going to be when they finally, I'm hoping after 2021, when everyone's on managed payments, I'm hoping they will finally get rid of immediate pay because I'm sick of it, guys. And it makes it a little bit more complicated when you accept an offer on eBay and then do you pull it off of your other platforms, which now I don't anymore.
But I don't until I get paid.
But that means it could sell on another platform. And then you got to decide, am I going to go ahead and cancel that or what?
Yeah, I don't anymore. I don't end anything on another platform until I'm paid on the primary platform, because if someone buys it and does full payment, then I'm going to cancel it on the other platform.
Yeah.
Which is usually eBay. And I've canceled due to buyer requested cancel, and I don't care. Come at me, eBay. But if you're not going to pay for something and it's sitting there for 3 days and someone else on another platform just paid full price, sorry, that's your choice not to pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I'm interpreting it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's get into PhotoRoom. Now, photos, like I said before, like when I started 5.5 years ago, listen, guys, listen, I hung those shirts on the back of the closet door like the rest of y'all.
The rest of y'all.
When you start out, you don't know what you're doing. You lay stuff on the floor. You lay it on the bed. You don't think about
the couch.
You don't think about the background. It's all crooked. It's all shadowy. So believe me, when I started, my pictures were not great at all.
Listen, I didn't even have a digital camera when I started, so we don't want to talk about the days of when I used to, upload that one photo from your scanned disc.
Did you do that thing where it's like you hit the button and it goes, and it's like the smoke comes up off of it?
That's how long I've been selling on eBay.
Yeah, anyway, so over time though, like I've improved my pictures. I've changed kind of like how I approach my selling, and I go for much higher price points. And also because of doing vintage streetwear, I really want to have a really good Instagram. So for me, at least having my main photos be really good with a white background, it's a big deal to me. So I've been using things like Snapseed, background eraser, in order to kind of elevate my photo game. And they do take some time, but I felt like for my business, with what I was selling and at the price points, it made sense. But what's been your approach to your
my approach, and as we all know, I do a little bit more than Katie does as far as volume, but not a ton. There are plenty of people that do way more volume than I do. I'm selling like 60 items a week. Okay. But I am doing, $175,000 a year in sales. So my 60 items a week, again, I'd rather work smarter, not harder. I don't want to ship 400 items a week. And God bless you that do it, because God, I don't know how you do it. I don't have the patience.
Hiring people.
I don't have the patience. But so anyway, I, the way that I've always done it, and by myself, and also my lister, Crystal, and before that it was Dana, it's you do the best you can with the photos. You get a good lighting system, and I didn't edit anything. It was, you get a good lighting system and that's it. It's, do the best you can.
I felt the same way. And I had pretty good photos with this.
And I don't like editing. You take your photos in square mode, get a very good lighting system, use daylight bulbs, or take photos outside if you have the ability to do that. If you live somewhere where it's bright and sunny, God bless you, go do it. That's the type of stuff that's going to make the difference. Reduce all ambient lighting in the room and do the best you can. Use a white background. And you know what? Like Crystal has two ring lights. We have 2 ring lights. We have a solid white background. But I'm sorry, there are still shadows. There are shadows no matter what time of the day that you're taking photos, no matter what you're using as your background. There is nothing with the naked eye camera that is going to be 100% without shadows. So for me, it's always been just do the best you can. Do the best you can with the photos, and we'll upload them and use them. And I felt that way when Dana took photos, when I've taken photos, and when Crystal takes photos. It's just do the best you can with what you have. The things are going to sell anyway.
Right.
That being said, I'm not somebody that was ever editing photos. Katie would edit like at least her gallery photos. So it was perfect. I didn't even do that. And I've said it many times. It's just do the best you can, get your lighting as good as you can, and go for it. The photos don't have to be showroom quality for every single thing, but
this is different.
This is elevated.
And I totally agree with her. As far as my advice to most sellers would be, it's like all about making the picture the best you can as you take it, so you're not having to take any of that extra time. And it also, particularly depending on like how much you're selling each item for, it matters how much time you're spending on each item. If you're only selling it for $12 or $20 as opposed to $100 or $1,000.
Right.
And so that's definitely the advice I would give to other people. But again, it was probably more when I was trying to focus on Instagram that I really wanted to have at least those main photos look better. And to be honest, using Snapseed and stuff, it didn't take that much extra time, but it was a little bit extra time.
It was enough that I wasn't going to do it.
Well, you were going to do it anyway. I never even showed you how to do it. Anyway,
you did, but I didn't want to.
I can barely get you to lighten and darken on your camera while you take a picture. So let's be honest here.
Sure.
Let's be honest. Anyway, and people would say like, oh, eBay's got this photo thing. You can take the background. The thing is, have you ever tried taking white on white background off a white item?
Washes the whole
thing is gone. So I'm like, I'm not messing with it. But now this is something that we agree on, because one, it does the level of quality of work that I want done on my pictures much faster than what I was doing before. And it makes your pictures better so fast that somebody like Vicky, who doesn't want to take any extra time, is willing to do it because she sees how much better it makes her pictures look, but also how quickly So she doesn't feel like she's wasting time.
Right.
That could be
now,
better.
to be fair, Crystal takes my photos, takes 95% of the photos for me for clothing.
Mhm.
She is using the same tool in the same way. But I am taking my photos for all of my hard goods and linens for the most part. She's done a bunch lately because I had a huge lot of linens. But pretty much shoes, you know, any hard. I'm taking photos for everything else. She does the clothing because I hate the clothing. And that's why I have an assistant.
So I'm going to go ahead and show some stuff here. First of all, let's look at, you know, like I was saying, when you look at like my listings, for the most part, especially anything I've listed in the last like year and a half or so, you can see just from the gallery photos, the main photos, you can see that it's nice. It pops. It's got that white background. Every once in a while, you'll scroll down and there might be something. I don't know if something will show up here, but it doesn't have a pure white background. But it took some work to do this on my older pictures, but I did it, not because I wanted it to look this way. So the end result for me has not actually changed. It's all about just being able to do it more quickly. Now, Vicky, we're going to show you, since she started doing this, and I looked at these, I opened these listings, so now I've got all these offers from you. It's funny. So Vicky, on her new ones, they look amazing. And it's crazy how much difference the background makes. But I pulled a few of her listings that still have the shadowy background. Okay, so you can see like this is a completely fine, adequate picture. You can see the item, you can see the detail, and that's what matters, is that people are able to see exactly what it is that you're selling and they know what they're getting. But what PhotoRoom does is it takes this background that's kind of a gray washed out background, and it's going to make that completely white. Okay. And that makes a huge difference. So let's look at some of the different listings that we're going to be looking at. Again, looks good. You can see the colors. It just doesn't have that white background. Actually, we're not going to do that. I didn't pull those pictures. And then this one, we got this really super creepy bear. I don't know what's happening with his mouth right there, but it's really, messing me up right now. I don't know if I can even focus because Talk to Me Teddy is creeping me the F out. But anyway, we're going to look at how this can work on hard goods like plush. And then I have one other hard good that I pulled up, which it's somewhat white in some areas, but you can see there's still that.
You can see the table.
You can see the table. You can see you can see that. So we're going to look at how this works with like hard goods that aren't clothing, something like this. So let's go ahead. This is where I had some real fun today trying to figure out how to get my phone up on here so I can actually show you how this works. So hold on a second, and we're going to go ahead and see if I can do this. All right, look at that. Hey, look at my blue clown nose. Okay, so I have an Android phone. Vicky has an Android phone. I'm sure this works slightly differently when you were using an iPhone, but the app is on both of them. I apologize that when I'm showing you this, you're not gonna be able to see where I'm clicking. It's not like you can see a mouse or anything like that. But on the upper right-hand corner, you can see that PR. It looks like an R, but the P is pink. So I'm going to click on that. That's the PhotoRoom app. And I put the link down below to the PhotoRoom app for the iPhone as well as the Android. So hopefully you guys can find it and get the right one. So I'm going to click on that. So there's lots of things you can do with this app. I've barely done any of them. You can add backgrounds. You can see like that picture of that woman, how it looks kind of cool. You can do stuff like that. So play around with this for sure. But I'm using it for doing my listings. So the big thing right here is you want to hit multiple. See where it says multiple, it's a little check. I'm going to go ahead and check that. And so that means I can pick more than one item. So let's just start. Do you want to start with your hard goods?
Sure. Go
or
ahead.
your, I'll just do all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and you just can go through and you can click on all, and I've done up to like 100 at a time.
Yeah, you can do about 100 at a time. So what Liz has said, yes, they've been on Android they've been on iPhone for quite a while. They've also been on Android, but the thing that's the biggest issue, the biggest plus right now is the fact that you can do multiples at once. The fact that you have multiples is huge.
Yeah.
It was always one at a time before.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to hit the check mark here on the upper right-hand corner. And it's just going to start doing it. So you'll see it's kind of going, and then it shows, bam, it's gone white. And then you basically just click the next, see at the very top, you can see the row of pictures. And again, I know you can't see me touching it, but I'm going to touch the second picture and it's going to automatically go to the second one. And it's like saving the first one. So see, and you can see what it looks like. Now I go to the next one. And again, this one isn't as dramatic because it wasn't super dark in the background, but you can't see the tablecloth anymore. You can't see it sitting on the table. It's completely white behind. Now let's go to that creepy teddy bear next picture.
As Crystal has said, Crystal's not doing it just for the gallery photos. She's doing it for all the photos.
Yeah.
So she's done 250 at a time with no issue.
So I just keep clicking the next picture and you can see it come up. It's a little bit weird looking on these on this plush because it's like he's floating in the air. But you can just see like how, I'm going kind of slowly to talk to you guys about it, but you can kind of scroll through it pretty fast. And then we'll start doing some of these clothes and see what happens.
Now, the cost for this is $50 a year for you to be able to use it as in bulk. It takes away the PhotoRoom has a watermark on their pictures. So it will take away your watermark and it allows you to do bulk where it did not allow you to do that before.
So look at this, guys. Look at this picture right here. Let me make it big. Look at this picture right here and look at the difference. I can't show these side by side because of how the streaming is set up, but look at the difference when you remove the background, like how much better it looks.
It's like 1,000,000 times better.
And so let me keep going.
And I thought my pictures were fine before. They were fine. But these are like huge showroom quality. And as Kelly says, it is a business expense. So this is a tax write-off. This is this is one of those things it's worth paying for your business, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now it really depends on if you're selling 3 items a month, then no, probably not. But if you are, at least a solid part-time seller, it's worth it. $50 a month or $50 a year is actually not a big expense at all.
Okay, so now that I've gone through them all and I clicked on the last one, then I hit that, see where it says 11 out of 12 next. I just touch that with my finger and then it saves that last one. So it's 12 out of 12. And then there's that little arrow pointing down. That's like a download button. So now I'm going to touch that. This is the very top right-hand corner. I'm going to touch that. And then it says save to gallery. And then it just depends. I mean, this is how I do it. Save to gallery. And then for me, I sync everything up with my Google Photos. I don't know how you guys do, what you guys do with your photos.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
Everybody and how you upload, continue to upload the way you normally would, whether you're making your listings from your phone or you're doing it from your desktop, however you do that. But it's the bulk edit is really the one that became this big, huge saver for me. Doing them one at a time and picking through one at a time, it was not going to be worth it for me.
Yeah.
The fact that this now has the bulk thing is fantastic. I know that Crystal has been doing it for the past 3 or 4 weeks now. She's been doing every single photo for all of my clothing items. And it's made a huge difference in the way my gallery looks on, if you go to my store and, as my stuff sells, again, I'm a slow seller because everything I sell is vintage, but I anticipate that a year from now that every single one of my listings will have gone through and sold and they will all look fantastic.
Now, Precious Bunny makes a good point. I think I'm going to use my savings of downgrading my eBay store and upgrade my PhotoRoom. So I think that's a good idea. Like right when you make the switch over, it'll be like you barely even feel it because you are just trading one expense for another. But this is just, for 1 year, it's totally worth it. All right, let me show you real quick. Cause like I said, my whole thing about using these different apps is how do you get a white t-shirt to pop? And for me, what I was having to do is I was having to go and I was having to take it on a dark background because it was easier to remove the background when there was a contrast, when there was a nice contrast between the color of the shirt and the background. But it was kind of a pain in the ass because I'd have to take all my dark pictures first on my white background that I pull down. Then I have to use dark curtains and do the white stuff. And it just was annoying and it took extra time, but it was kind of like the best thing I could do. So let me show you how this one works. Because this is the thing that I think the eBay app and now the eBay desktop that they are introducing, I don't think it does a very good job. So I'm just going to show you. Let me pick some white pictures here. Background or this one. Let's see. Whoops. This one. Let me try. Let's do ones that aren't white. And let's go with a darker one. Let's try some George Strait. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do these ones. These ones. You got it. All right. So look at that. Look at that, guys. Now, I will say sometimes, and the reason I picked this picture is because I wanted to kind of show you. So first of all, you can see very crisp difference between the shirt and the background. Even though it was white on white, it still was able to detect where the edges of this shirt were. Now, one thing I've noticed when I'm doing the white ones especially, is at the top of the picture where you can see the mannequin or it's black, it kind of faded that out, and I don't really like that. But on certain pictures, when you're going through, you can actually make little changes. And so like I will hit in the middle to the right of the screen in the middle. You can see that just below that big plus sign, you can see the t-shirt inside the circle. You might not be able to see it depending on how big your screen is, but I'm going to touch that. And it opens up some editing things. You can adjust the brightness, the darkness. So there are things you can do within this. I click on this cutout down at the bottom. You see the little scissors cutout. And I click on manual. And now, right now it's on the eraser down the very bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to click on the little paintbrush next to it. And what you're doing is you're replacing, you're adding back in that part that was kind of shadowed out. Make that a little bit bigger. And I just color it right there, that dark spot where it was. And then I can actually zoom in a little bit, get up here, do it up here.
Why does it look pink?
Because the pink is where it is keeping it.
I don't understand what you're doing.
Well, it's just pink. I mean, it's not pink right now. And I hit the little X here and it just saves it. See how it's dark again at the collar and down at the very bottom? I know you don't understand, but I'm just showing people you can do stuff to change it. And then I can go to the next one and see how it does. Look at how good that looks. It looks good.
Look at how good that looks.
Look at that. Seriously, when I saw this, I was like, yes, this is going to work for me. And I knew it was going to be worth doing it. So let me go on to the next one. I mean, look at how good that looks, guys. Now let's try a yellow color. Ooh, look at that pop. Bam, bam, bam. Look at that. I love it. I love it. A little bit of a darker color. Seriously, guys, I am loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Anyway, so, I mean, this is just like a really brief overview to just be like, hey, look at what it can do. Look at how it can improve your pictures. We totally get that there's like so many features on this that we're not even getting into. There's some really cool stuff you can do with it to change like your avatar on Instagram or to make really cool pictures with added backgrounds. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. And I would say that Liz really knows how to play around with it. I don't know, Liz, if at some point you want to do like a post in the boss group where you're like, here's some other cool things you can do with PhotoRoom. Because you were definitely one that likes to play around with that. But
So Lori asked, can you use PhotoRoom on listings already on eBay or just on photos before you upload them to eBay? So the way we're showing it is for photos before it's uploaded. But of course you can do it on listings that are already there. You would have to download.
Yeah.
Just like what Katie did earlier on some of my older listings, you would have to download the photos onto your phone from, like you can right click or download, save photo.
Run them through PhotoRoom.
Run them through the PhotoRoom and then go in and edit your listing and put the new photos in there. It's just like changing out any other type of photo.
I mean,
I'm not going to go and do that. No. I mean, I have 3,400 listings. I'm certainly not going to edit the 3,300 that do not have amended photos. But that's a waste of time for me.
But I would say it is so much better than trying to, because sometimes people will actually completely take pictures over again to kind of update their listings. And this is like a way better step. So even if you just wanted to go in and go through some of your old listings and pick your first picture, so it's your gallery view, the one that comes up in search results, I mean, you could spend a day going through or spend some time and just pulling those first pictures and like redoing them. And all you're doing is doing it through the app. You're not having to go pull the item, set up everything, take better pictures. So, I mean, it's worth it if you feel like you want to, add a little more pizzazz to your listings. So, but yeah. Liz says that she uses it for Instagram posts because they have, the stories feature. She likes to play around with it. And there's so many things you can do with it. It just happens to be that it's a great, great tool.
And I think it's very inexpensive. So $50 a year. You know, I'm going to say that because they keep adding all of these features and making it easier and better, and for both Android and iPhone users, I'm going to say jump in at this $50 a year now, because I guarantee that price is going to go up.
Yeah.
As more people are using a feature and they realize that it has greater demand, they are going to be able to ask and command a higher price.
I mean, hopefully
and
but
a lot of companies do that. So I'm just telling you, if you're on the fence, now is the time to jump on, because I can bet that they are going to increase the price. And that way, if you're in, at least you'd be grandfathered in.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, guys, that's our little overview. So again, like, we're definitely not experts at this. I've only been using it a very brief amount of time. We just wanted to show you, like, look at how easy this is. It really
and we're excited about
it. Super simple. And I think that because we're both excited about it for different reasons, it shows how good it is. Because for me, like I said, I'm very stubborn. I want my stuff to look a very specific way.
You stubborn?
You stubborn. I have a very set way that I was doing it. And when it was coming to using other methods that were quicker, it wasn't worth it. But this, because it's so fast and it does it at the level of excellence that I demand, I switched to it. And this one over here, the fact that she's using it when she has so many times been very poo-pooed about any kind of anything like this.
I'm lazy.
You're not lazy. You focus on different things. The fact that she's using it also shows like how awesome it really is. So we're telling you guys, we're not making any money on this. We have no referral code, nothing. We are merely here to say you should look into this as a way to elevate your listings. You know, Google, the whole Google search, to have it in the Google catalog, they really want white backgrounds. I get this preferencing. Some people don't like the photos because it looks too much like stock photos. But the reality is,
speaking of, I had Macari take down a photo and a listing. This is how good it is. Okay, so I had Macari say, "Oh, you broke our rule about using stock photos. Stock photos are not allowed. We're taking down this listing, and you've got a penalty on your account for this," or however they worded it.
Yeah.
It was a 45-year-old vintage shirt. That's how good
it is.
PhotoRoom is. Yeah. Now, that being said, I messaged them and said, "This is a 45-year-old vintage shirt. Thank you for the compliment, but this is not a stock photo. This is my actual photo." And they apologized and they took it off of my account and they reinstated the listing. But that just says that I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think that's, that just goes to show you that, the pictures are so good, they thought it was a stock photo.
Liz makes a good point. Go ahead and follow them on Instagram because they give updates on their Instagram page. So that's definitely a good tool to be paying attention to what's going on. But seriously, guys, sometimes you have to pay for certain tools. I pay for, Sizely, and then there is List Perfectly, and then this. But we're both very selective about the tools that we decide are worth
talking about worth the cost
and worth the cost for our businesses. And those are the ones that we talk about. And it doesn't matter if we get any kind of like referral kickback or not. The only ones we talk about are the ones that we think actually help us and that we think you should look at.
We only endorse things that we actually use.
Yes, absolutely. So
probably why we are not YouTubers that make good money.
That's true. I mean, we get hit up all the time to promote certain products and apps and stuff like that. And the reality is, if we're not using it and it's not something that interests us or excites us, we're certainly not going to talk about it and pretend like it does. But anyway, so we would love to hear back from you guys and let us know down in the comments, like after the show is over, let us know down in the comments if you use PhotoRoom, if you don't use PhotoRoom, if you do try it because of us, try like the free trial. Let us know what you think about it. Let us know if you like it. Let us know other tips.
Let us know if you're able to downgrade your store subscription and save a bunch of money.
Yeah,
What are you going to do with the savings?
Also, what are you going to do? Are you going to go to Disneyland? I don't know.
I'm going to go to Disneyland. I know. I was just thinking that.
Also, if there are other apps that you think are ones that you can't live without for your reselling business, let us know about those too. Because seriously, the only reason I finally tried, I'd heard about PhotoRoom. The only reason I finally tried it is because Liz would just shut the F up about it. And she was like, seriously, you have to try it. It's amazing. And finally, just to shut her face up, I was like, yeah, I'll look at it. Jeez, enough already. And then I did. And then I angrily had to tell her thank you. So
you angrily had to tell her thank you. So Mother Deal says we've been almost at 10,000 subs
for so long.
For a year, guys. I have to say, a year.
It's ridiculous.
We gain 100 a month, then we lose 40, then we gain. It's crazy.
And then we lose 100. Who knows?
It's YouTube has these strange algorithms. I think they kick out fake accounts or inactive accounts
I don't
after a
know.
while. So yeah. So
This one drops too many F-bombs.
We are
Let's be realistic
300
here.
subs. Well, I've alienated a few subs from that. Oh well, they're not my kind of people anyway.
Yeah.
We've been 300 subs away from 10,000 for a long time.
Yeah. So waste not, want not. Mo, I'm photographing white plates with silver trim today. Gotta check it out. Seriously, check it out and let us know how it looks. But please, guys, give us some feedback down below. We are going to get our acts together and go do our shipping. Maybe I'll give you your computer back now that we're done doing this. But yeah, I got to ship for today. It is nice though doing this show earlier because
thanks for having, like Liz says, thanks for having coffee. Yeah, thanks for the coffee talk this morning.
Thanks for the coffee talk. All right.
We appreciate you guys and see you on Sunday.
Yeah, see you on Sunday, guys. Bye.
See you in the boss group.